This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with the Hannibal TV mascot Piper with a daily wrestling news update for you. Rampage did a 0.10 rating on Friday night. And apparently, according to Billy Gunn, who is looking in great shape, still steps in the ring in AEW here and there. Apparently, his old DX stablemate X-Pac might be coming back to AEW to wrestle. He's training for an in-ring comeback. And I recently saw a video where X-Pac said his WWE royalty checks were almost nothing. I've heard Billy Graham say that he once got it. I mean, it's on record. He's actually on this channel saying it, that he got when he was under a WWE Legends deal. He once got a check for less than $1. And from the video I saw of X-Pac talking about it, it can't be that much different. But I think it's funny. I like X-Pac, by the way. Another guy that had hepatitis C and defeated hepatitis C. So it's nice to see people that had hepatitis C coming back and wrestling in major companies. So I always thought he was good. Kevin Sullivan said he's one of the most underrated. I would agree for that. You always hear that Arn Anderson is underrated. So many people always say that Arn Anderson was underrated, but you don't hear enough about X-Pac. And I think X-Pac had a good career. But here's the one thing I find funny. A 90s star coming back in 2023. Could you imagine if during the Attitude Era in the 90s, we'd be hearing about 70s stars coming back and get excited? Like if Wahoo McDaniel and Baron Von Raschke and Ray Stevens were having to be brought back during the Attitude Era because the young stars aren't making it as stars where they have to get older stars. I mean, it's just funny to think about that. But that's what it is. Like wrestlers from the late 60s and 70s wrestling the Attitude Era is the equivalent of guys like X-Pac coming back in 2023. And I'm all for it. I just think about it. Like, could you imagine, like, in the 90s, them saying all these, like Billy Graham coming back in the 90s? It's the equivalent of that. But I wish AEW the best. They definitely need names. If like they're bringing on another show, which they are getting paid for, so I understand it. But Rampage is doing really bad as far as interest wise. So it's going to be even harder to keep Rampage going once they have Collision up and running, which is only going to be a streaming show in many countries. Mike, I'd love to do a Jim Powers interview. Jim Powers, yeah, I don't know what the deal was with him. If he had been from a different time, he may have done better. There's always the talk that something happened with him and Pat Patterson. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'd like to ask him about it sometime. Get to the bottom of it. But they did keep him around for a long time. Like Jim Powers, after the Young Stallions broke up, he was still doing like house show matches in 92. I can remember seeing him in a house show match in 92. You'd see him. He would still come out to Crank It Up by Jimmy Hart from the Pile Driver album. Mike, I've reached out to Jim Powers and I've told a guy named Andrew Anderson who knows Jim Powers that I'm interested in interviewing him, but he likes to keep it low key. I think it was Shane Douglas that told the story about Jim Powers having some unusual stuff happen to him on this channel. Anyways, guys, hope you have a great night. I'm going to enjoy my evening here with Piper. Please like and subscribe. I am supposed to be doing an interview with the Gobbledygooker soon, speaking of 90s wrestling. And I am supposed to be interviewing Marty Jannetty this weekend, who is also having a Dark Side of the Ring done on him. Tonight, it is, I think it's the Eddie Graham death Dark Side of the Ring. He committed suicide. There's lots of videos about that on this channel. The next week, Matt Bourne, Mike D's favorite wrestler. Matt Bourne. Could you imagine, Mike, if Matt Bourne had wrestled Giant Gonzalez? How much would that make you happy? You would die a happy man if you could see Doink against Giant Gonzalez.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest